Great to be with you on this Saturday night, and it's now time to introduce the chair of GRV, Peita Duncan, to our coverage. Peter, thanks for joining us. You must be over the moon with the success of the Phoenix. This is the third year that we've had this slot race being conducted here at the Meadows, and it seems to be getting bigger and better each year.
Just have a look around,
Yes.
Gareth. It's just off its chops, as you know I like to say. 1,000 people in paid hospitality and everyone down here on the concourse. It's general admission and the car park is chock-a-block, and this is going to be a night to remember. I can just feel it in my waters, as they say.
Pete, what about the narratives of this race? I mean, I remember when it first came out, you're always going to have some naysayers that said it was, you know, a race for the elites. It's not a race for the elites. We've got a pizza shop owner in the race. We have the Cockrell family who run their own business, Ian being a dentist. I mean, these stories continue to pop up every year.
Every year the same thing pops up. It's not for the elite. It's a promotional race, just like the Everest, to get new people involved, like our viewers tonight on racing.com that may know nothing about greyhound racing, to have a look. And obviously people buy a slot for $100,000, so that is part of the prize money of $1 million tonight. And it's just the most sensational thing we've ever done. And I think tonight, because we're going to see Wow She's Fast for the very last time, can she do it? I don't know. My heart wants it, but who knows?
Yeah.
But you've got, you know, the pizza shop owner, you've got Lisa Cockrell, as you said. This is, anyone can get a dog in this race if you've got a dog that a slot holder wants to buy. So that's sort of where we're at. So it's not elitist at all.
Yeah, I think the best part of the Dream Chasers Festival and our coverage, Peter, has been the love that the participants have showed for their dog, win, lose or draw, and the emotion that they have had for their dog, whether they had won or run second or third, and how they love these animals so much. And obviously in all three racing codes there's massive challenges from a welfare point of view, but there's also the protesters, similar to like what Nup to the Cup there for the Melbourne Cup and the Gallops. Does that have an impact on greyhound racing, and how's GRV try to handle that?
That's a great question, Gareth. I think Nup to the Cup, and this, I know we've got viewers out there that watch Seinfeld, so this is Festivus begins now, and I've got a lot of grievances which I'm going to air right now tonight. I think we've been lucky that Dream Chasers has not had any disruption because of protesters, and that's probably because the last 4 race meetings it was raining. Anyway, I think, you know, first of all, I think to say that ahead of Racing Victoria's Melbourne Cup, to have a video that went viral as it did, it's just not on, and it's disgusting. And to call for violence and that people should be killed on track just because you don't like racing, that's just unacceptable. And I think it's been counterproductive because of the backlash, not just from the racing community who were highly upset, and some of those people triggered that have lost loved ones in racing or that have had serious injuries doing the job they love to do. But I think, you know, it's been counterproductive because they really sort of annoyed a lot of the Victorian community because of what racing brings to the community in Victoria.
Pete, talking about these anti-racing protests, have they sort of shifted their attention online?
Yeah, it's absolutely online is where we're fighting the fight. And I think the thing for the greyhound racing is there's a lot of misinformation out there about the greyhound industry, that most greyhounds are not taken care of properly, and that's just absolutely incorrect, and it's not right. And I'm here to put that down right now, and that greyhounds have to be rescued. Again, that's just not true. Put aside the obvious, and that it makes no sense that if you've got a racing greyhound that someone has bred, reared, and now is racing, why would you treat that animal but poorly? It just doesn't make sense, right?
Yep.
So I think, you know, to say that the coverage of greyhounds by racing media, non-racing media, has been poor, it's because they're uninformed. And I think, you know, they'll write stories about our industry here in Victoria and across the country, and quite frankly, it's unethical and it's unfair. So you need to be informed and make not a biased reporting when you do that. and we can give you the facts. GRV has always said we are transparent. If you want to come and check facts with us, of course we're going to provide you with the accurate information because we are the regulator of the sport. The only thing we won't make comment on, of course, naturally, just like Victoria Police, is if it's an investigative matter that's happening right here, right now. And so I think journos out there, do better. Check the facts, because you're not checking the facts.
I totally agree. And if you're a journalist, that's what you get taught. You've got to make sure that you cover both sides. And, geez, I'm loving this fired-up chair of GRV Peita Duncan tonight. In saying that, I thought the coverage, especially from outside of the racing media this week, has been superb. The story on Channel 9 and Channel 7 and in the major newspapers as well, which is terrific for the sport, showcasing how it should be shown. Now, the GAP program, how's that travelling at the moment?
I just want to say one other thing, Gareth, because, Gareth, I am fired up, okay?
Yes.
So, hi, you. Just let me go for 1 minute here.
You're the boss.
You know,
it's your fault.
The other thing I want to say is this, all right? So, racing isn't everybody's cup of tea, and we understand that, and you don't have to like us. That's fine, because everyone, it's a democracy we're living in, and you're entitled to your own opinion. But I don't think it's okay that if you have a platform that you should get your facts right if you're going to start rubbishing this industry full of people who go above and beyond and take excellent care of their dogs, right? That's for me is not on, right? And like I said, you don't have to love us, but you should acknowledge that it's well regulated and that GRV are recognised as one of the leading integrity and regulators in the country, if not the world. So it's simply not good enough to grandstand and claim to have all this information about greyhounds being mistreated, but then say it's not for me to tell the regulator, you know, they should be able to find it themselves. That's unacceptable, because then what you're really doing is saying that I'm happy for a dog or greyhounds to continue to be mistreated just so you can score a point from the regulator. And that's just not good enough.
Well said, Peter. The GAP program.
I'm going to GAP now.
Yes.
Namaste, Gareth. Namaste.
It's going very well. I see a lot of greyhounds where I live in South Melbourne. Every second dog's a greyhound.
Yeah, we've got greyhounds everywhere, and I think we've just done a foster a greyhound over Christmas, and we've got 100 of our beautiful gentle souls out in foster homes under Christmas trees all over Victoria. I've got my own too, as you know.
Yes.
And there's no Christmas tree because they'll tear it to shreds, but they're beautiful, gentle dogs. So what we're asking all the viewers to think about is that we've got Meet Your New Best Friend, which is our new campaign for GAP, because all of the dogs being fostered at the moment will come back into GAP over January after Christmas, and they're looking for a forever home. So GAP will be open over Christmas, so please come and see us at our Tullamarine facility, and all the details of what dogs are available, what they're like, are on our website at grv.org.au. So have a look for the GAP tab and have a look, and because I promise you, if you get a greyhound, it will change your life. I've got 2.
Geez, I've thoroughly enjoyed your passion. You've spoken so well tonight, Peter. Now
Thank
you go
you.
and have a nice Chardonnay, calm down a little bit, and enjoy Phoenix night.
I feel like I need to do a mic drop after that, but it had to be said, and it's about my participants in Victoria, but also across the country, because I know people in other states are watching. Have a great night
it's
and
your
good
show.
tipping.
It's your show. You may as well throw to Jihad Talji, of course, because he's about to catch up with James Vandermaat, and he's got that greyhound Scalacci.
Yes, and he is our pizza man. So thank you so much for having me on, and have a great night.